Python, then only we'll be able to know that how a module can be developed using Python, isn't it? So because of that, we have provided the introduction to Python. And as engineering students in the first year of their curriculum, they are learning C. So what we thought about that, why not to refer Python with reference to C? So depending on that, we started our journey from initially we started from introduction to Python, means why Python, features of Python, then the exact implementation started. So within the implementation, you are having basics of Python. So within the basics of Python, a Python editor is always needed. So again, I'm telling you, many students are still asking that, ma'am, which editor has to be used? So online, so many editors are available. There is no restriction on number, or you can say this is the most appropriate one, or this is the least appropriate one. Whichever is comfortable to you, you may use. Once we started learning web designing, at that time only Notepad was available. So we are writing code in Notepad and then executing it, and HTML we are writing and everything. So in that scenario also, what should be your main focus on learning? So exactly, when you are learning properly, then editor won't be a hurdle for you, that this editor you are using or that editor you are using. Any editor you can use. So apart from that editor part, once it is there, it is installed on your machine, you have to start writing programs. But before that, what is needed is the ABC, or you can say alphabets of any language. So as far as Python is concerned, we started with basics, data types, variables, literals, operators, something which is needed to write a program, a simple program within any language. If we want to write, then these were the basic things which were needed. So once we got, or we became aware with those scenarios, then we started with real hands-on experiments with Python. So in yesterday's session, I tried my best to explain you that how if, because if statement is the basic statement whenever any simple problem is given to you and a condition is given to you, many times it is there that the condition is true or the condition is false. Say likewise, we started our journey. So if is there, then if else is there, else if ladder is there, else if multiple if else is there. So else if is there, elif is there. Then if some repetition of codes are there, some number of tasks are to be repeated multiple time, then we learned for loop, while loop. Whenever loops are there at that time, some constraints are always there, that always from 1 to n, all the codes has to be executed. Now the some statements are available like break, continue, that if something you want to skip, or if you got the answer, better to come out of the loop. So that was the main constraint for adding this type of statements like break and continue, that don't iterate the process for the whole numbers from 1 to n, but as and when it is needed, we can continue or we can discontinue. So those were the goals of break, continue, pass. Pass was basically one of the statement which was specified only in Python. It was not there in C. So it is basically concentrating on with any condition, with any statement, that is the constraint of the language, that you have to specify some statement. Now it may possible that I'm writing the condition, if I'm writing if else, I'm writing for loop, I'm writing a while loop, but within the body part I don't want anything, only for some time pass, you can say for delaying, I am executing this loop for some number of time. So in that scenario, in that case, always what you can use is pass. Execute the statement for some period of time, for some second, and don't do anything. It is just for operating system to execute for some number of clock ticks. So that was the concept of pass. So simply at this point, what I had given is till date what we covered. Now, just to freshen up, that to lighten the session, today we are concentrating on strings. Now, strings are very important as far as a programmer is concerned. That if you are in third year, if you are in final year, Bachelor of Engineering program, then there are many programs which are basically related to string. So now today's session is basically on strings, and a lot many programs are there where you can apply string. So today's session I am handing over to Nidhi. So yes, Nidhi, you can start the session with string, and best of luck. At any point, if you're having any doubt, you can directly write in the chat box. We will try our best to provide you the solution. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. Am I audible? Hello. Okay. So, very good afternoon to all of you. Today, during this session, I am going to cover uh, strings and methods and operations on strings. So, take a look about agenda of this session. First of all, I begin with basic introduction of string, then I'll discuss how to declare string, then indexing. Going further, I'll explain how to access Python in string in Python, and then we will understand string functions and methods. Okay, so start with what is string in Python. Basically, strings are sequence of characters. String is immutable data type which will not be changed. Wait for one sec. Hello. Hello. So, start with what is string. Strings are sequence of characters. It is immutable data type which will not be changed after once it declared. We can use single or double quotation marks to declare strings. Strings are arrays of characters. Here in Python, we don't have character data type. So, single character can be a string with length of 1. You can display string with the print function. For example, print in parentheses and double or single quotation marks. Hello. The second is how we can assign a value to a variable. Assigning a string to a variable is done with the variable name followed by equal sign and the string. For example, here a is a variable, then equal sign and then hello. After that, we will print variable a. For declaring multi-line string, you can assign a multi-line string to a variable by using triple, single or triple double quotation marks. Here, you can see, for example, of multi-line string like variable a equal to some lorem ipsum text in triple quotation mark. So, the next is now we understand how indexing is done in Python. Before accessing, hello, okay. Before accessing value in string, we will understand indexing. Indexers are location for characters in string. Let us take an example. Hello world. Here H has a index of 0, E has a index of 1, L has a index of 2, and so on. In last, D has a index of 9. So here you can see that indexes are starting from 0. Here you can do reverse indexing also. Here you in C you cannot do reverse indexing, but in Python you can do reverse indexing also. For reverse indexing, index of D is -1, index of L is -2, and so on. Here in Python, we use square bracket for calling a index. So let us see some example related to indexing. Here in example, for fetching character of a specifying index, we can use square bracket. As shown in example number 1, str in square bracket 0 returns character having index 0, which is h. So here str square bracket 0 returns h. In example number 2, str in square bracket 1 returns character having index 1. So here which returns e. In example number 3, str square bracket 4 returns character having index 4, which returns o. In example number 4, str square bracket -1 returns the rightmost character of the string, which means the last character of a string, which is D. In example number 5, str square bracket -3 returns third rightmost character of the string, which is r. So it is all about indexing. So now we will see some basic built-in functions or methods in string. So start with slicing. Slicing is used to get a range of characters. It specifies start index, end index separated by colon, return a part of string. Here, part of string means substring. Here, square bracket is called as a slice operator in Python. The slice operator is used to access the individual characters of a string. However, we can use the colon operator in Python to use a substring from the given string. Consider the given example. Here, variable str is having string hello. Index of each character is shown in figure, like h has a index of 0, e has a index of 1, and so on. It shows reverse indexing also, like index of o is -1, l is -2, and then l is -3, and so on. Here, for slicing, as shown in example number 1, variable name in square bracket colon returns the whole complete string. So str in square bracket colon returns whole complete hello itself. In second example, variable name in square bracket 0 and then colon also returns complete string. Here 0 is a starting index, and after colon, ending ending index is not specified, so it returns string till the last character. So here str colon 0 str in square bracket 0 colon returns complete hello. In third example, str in square bracket colon and 5, it also returns whole string. Here we are not given starting index, so it assumes 0 as a starting index and ending index is given as a 5. So it prints all the characters starting from index 0 to index 4. Here last character present is not included in a result, so it prints uh, whole complete hello. In example number 4, str in square bracket 0 colon 2, it returns the string starting from a index 0 to index 1. So, based on this example, it returns HE. In example number 5, str square bracket 1 colon 4, it returns string starting from index 1 to index 3. So, based on this example, it returns ELE. In example number 6, str in colon -3 colon -1. Here string starting index is -3 and ending index is -1. So in reverse indexing, it print characters having index starting from a -2 and ending with -1. Here in reverse indexing, also it does not include the last character, which it will print LL. In example number 7, str square bracket colon -1. Here it specifies that ending index is -1, but here starting index is not specified. So it takes 0 as a starting index and print whole reverse string like a OLLEH. In example number 8, str square bracket -4 colon. Here start index is -4 and end index is not specified, so automatically it takes -1 as a end index and it will return the all the characters starting from a index -4 to -1. So you can check it practically by writing same thing which is written here in this slide. So in Jupyter Notebook, str equal to hello world. In print, in parenthesis, str square bracket colon, it prints hello world. Likewise, str square bracket 1 colon 3 will print el, and likewise str in square bracket -3 colon -1 will print RL, and so on. You can check it all of this by yourself. So this is all about indexing and slicing in string. So the next is string length. We can use length function to get a length of string. Simply, len calculate how many characters are there in string. If string is having some blank space, or you can say that white space, then these spaces are also counted for finding length of the string. For example, here string hello world is assigned to the variable a, then print len a returns the length of string a, which is 11, as hello has a 5 characters and world has a 5 characters and plus 1 space. So it returns 11 as the length of string. So the next is stripe. Stripe method is used to remove any white space from a beginning or ending of the string. For example, in string space space hello world and then space space, it removes both white space from a beginning and end also. Simply it returns hello world. So the next is lower. Lower method returns the whole string in lowercase. For example, a equal to hello world. Here H and W are in uppercase and all other characters are in lowercase. So a dot lower function returns whole complete hello world in lowercase. The next is upper. Upper method returns the whole string in a uppercase. For example, a equal to hello world. Here H and W are in uppercase and all other characters are in lowercase. So a dot upper function returns whole string hello world in uppercase. Next is replace. Replace method replace a string with another string, or you can also replace one character with the another character. For example, a equal to hello world. A dot replace in parenthesis H and J will replace all the occurrence of H with J. So here all the H in a string are replaced with J. So output of this string is hello world. Sorry. So the next is split. Split method splits the string into the substring if it finds instance of the separator. Here the separators like colon, semicolon, comma are used. For example, a equal to hello world. Here hello, comma, then word. Here if we want to separate this string at every instance of comma, then use comma as a separator for a split method. So a dot split in parenthesis and double quotation mark colon returns list of two separate words like hello and world. So the next is check string. This method is used to check a certain phrase or character in a string, if they are present in string or not. For example, here given example is used to check if phrase AIN is present in the following text, like here the text is Spain. Then check AIN is in text or not. So yes, AIN is there in Spain. So it returns true. The second example is for checking if the phrase AIN is not in a text. Then here a text is Spain, X is AIN not in text. It returns false because here AIN is present in a text. Next is string concatenation. Concatenation means merging of two strings. For concatenation, we use plus operator. For example, A equal to hello, B equal to word, then C equal to A plus B returns hello word as a single string. The next is string format. As we learned in Python variables, we cannot combine strings and numbers. So for better understanding of this scenario, let us take one variable called as age having an integer value 36 and then text equal to my name is John, I am, and plus age. Then print the value of text. Here, data type of my name is John is string and the data type of age is integer. So while printing this txt variable, it gives an error showing it is type error and you can only concatenate string with the string only. But in real world scenario, we have to concatenate string with integer also. So now in case you can use string format. So basically by using string format you can combine strings and numbers. uh, in format method it takes the past argument, formats formats then and places them in the string where the placeholders are. Here we use curly braces as a placeholder. Here in the same example is given which we were shown in previous slide as age is equal to 36, txt is equal to my name is John and I am, then curly braces, then print the value of txt dot format in a parenthesis age. Here format method places age which is 36 at where we had written curly braces. So output will be my name is John and I am 36. Format method uh, can take unlimited numbers of arguments and are placed into the respective placeholders. Let us take an example like if quantity equal to 3, item number is 56 and price equal to 49.95. Here my order equal to I want curly braces, pieces of item curly braces, for curly braces dollars. Then apply format method on a variable my order. It returns output as a I want 3 pieces of item 56 for $49.95. Here a table containing some other built-in functions is given. Here in table only method and the description is given. Practical implementation of all of this I will cover after go through this simple description. Here capitalize method converts the first character to the uppercase. Fold method converts strings into the lowercase. Count returns the number of times a specified value occurs in a string, and which returns true if the string ends with the specified value. Is al num returns true if all the characters in a strings are alphanumeric. Is alpha returns true if all the characters in a string are in alphabet. Is decimal returns true if all the characters in a strings are decimal. Is digit returns true if all the characters in a string are digits. Is identifier returns true if the string is an identifier. Is lower returns true if all the characters in a strings are in lowercase. Is numeric returns true if all the characters in a string are numeric. Is upper returns true if all the characters in a string are in uppercase. Start with returns true if the string starts with the specified value. Swap case. Swap cases, lowercase becomes uppercases and uppercase becomes lower cases. So this is all about built-in functions. So now we will see all of this practically. So I open Jupyter Notebook. In Jupyter Notebook, first I take a one variable, say a equal to Python programming. Here Python programming, I used double quotation marks and then print the value of variable a. It returns Python programming. Here b equal to Python programming in single quotation mark and then print the value of b, which is also returns value as a Python programming. In example number 3, c equal to in triple quotation mark, this is Python workshop with reference to C. For declaring multi-line string, we use triple quotation marks. It returns whole complete multi-line text. Then for finding length of a string, firstly we will see example of a string length. Here print in parenthesis len of a will returns 18 because there are total 18 characters in a string programming. Second is stripe. Second is stripe. Here we can we all know stripe method. It removes any white spaces from a beginning and end of the string. So let us take a variable d equal to space Python space then print d dot stripe will returns Python. Then next is lower. Lower method returns the string in lowercase. So print a dot lower will returns whole complete Python programming in lowercase. Next is upper. Upper method is used to convert whole string into uppercase. Here a dot upper will return Python programming in a uppercase. Next is replace. Here for variable a, which is Python programming, and then a dot replace p here p with replace with m. So we can write print a dot replace P and M will return M Python programming. Next is split. It is used to separate two strings with the help of the separator. Here x is equal to Python, comma, and then programming. Print x dot split in a parenthesis and double quotation mark, comma. It will print Python and programming. The next is in and not in. Here in print py in A. Here A is a Python programming. It returns true. It returns true because here Python py is in Python programming and py is not in A. Will returns false because here not is used. So the next is concatenation. Here m equal to Python, n equal to programming, p equal to m plus n returns Python programming as a result of concatenation of two strings called Python and programming. Then next is format. Let us take p equal to 5, q equal to Python workshop is of curly braces and days. Print q dot format and value p. It will return Python workshop is of 5 days. Next is capitalize. Text equal to India. Print text dot capitalize returns India in uppercase. Here capitalize converts first character of string in uppercase. Next is case fold. It converts string into the lower case. It is same as a lower method. Print a dot case fold will return Python programming. Next is count. Count method returns the number of times a specified value appears in a string. Let us take one example. Txt equal to I love apples. Apple is my favorite food. Then print txt.count in parenthesis and double quotation mark apple. It returns 2. It returns 2 as apple is appear 2 times in given string, here and here. Next is ends with. And ends with method returns true if it ends with specified substring. Here a equal to this is Python workshop ends with full stop. Then print a dot ends with in parenthesis and double quotation mark dot. Here given string it ends with dot and specified substring is also dot. So output will be true. Next is al num. This method checks whether all the characters of a string is alphanumeric or not. A character which is either a letter or digit known as alphanumeric. For example, str equal to welcome, print str dot is al num returns true as in welcome all the characters are letters. Next is alpha. This method returns all the characters in a string are alphabetic. It returns true if all the characters in the string are alphabetic. For example, str equal to letter 1, then print str dot is alpha. It returns false because letter and then 1. Here 1 is a digit. Next is decimal. It checks whether all the characters are decimal or not. Here decimal means all the characters which is having a base of 10. For example, str is equal to 123, then print str dot is decimal, returns the value, returns true as 123 is a decimal number. Next is digit. Is digit returns true if all the characters of given strings are digits. For example, str is equal to letter 1, print str dot is digit, returns false because here here the letter, all the spelling of letter contains only alphabets. Next is lower. It returns true if all the characters in string are in lowercase. str equal to hello and then print str dot is lower, returns true as here all the characters of hello are in lowercase. Next is upper. It returns true if all the characters in string are in a uppercase. For example, str equal to hello and str dot is upper, returns false because here none of the characters of hello is in uppercase. Next is starts with. Python starts Python starts with method returns true if the string starts with the given prefix. Otherwise, it returns false. It takes two parameters: starts and ends. Start is a starting index and end is a ending index, where start specifies from where searching is start and end specifies from where searching is stop. So, for example, str equal to Python programming, print str dot starts with programming, comma 5, comma 15, returns false. As in a Python programming, starting index for programming is not 5 and ending index of programming G is not 15. Next is swap case. Python swap case method converts a case of the string from a uppercase to the lowercase and vice versa. For example, str string equal to hello, print str dot swap case, returns hello in uppercase, and the next is str equal to hello, print str dot swap case will return hello in lowercase. So this is all about string built-in functions. So now we will see some demo programs of string. So first is write a program to find the number of vowels, consonant, digits and white space characters in a string. Firstly, here I imported string module for using built-in functions of string. You have to import string module. Here I have declared two variables, s is equal to day1 and s is equal to day1 is a string from which we will find the number of vowels, consonant, digit and white space. Then we will convert the string into the lowercase by using s.lower method. Then I declared four more variables such as vowels, consonants, digits and space. Then I initialize four more variables as zeros. Like C is for counting all occurrence of consonant. V is for uh, V is for counting all the occurrence of vowels. D is for counting all the occurrence of digit, and W is for counting all the occurrence of white space. Then for finding all the occurrence here, I used a for loop. In for loop here, I represents each and every character of a string iteration by iteration. First start with the first character, which is T. First, which is T. Here, first checks with the it checks if T is equal to vowel. T is vowel. If it is vowel, then increment value of V by 1. Then T, and if T is not vowel, then the control goes to the elif statement. Here it checks if T is consonant. If it is consonant, then it increase the value of C by 1. If it is not consonant, then the control goes to the second elif. Here it checks whether T is digit or not. If it is digit, then increment value of D by 1, and then and if it is not digit, then control goes to last elif statement. Here it checks if T is space or not. If it is space, then the value of the WS variable is incremented by 1. This is only for the T character. Now the whole process is done for the second O character, then D character, then A character, then Y character, and then 1 character. So the cycle of for loop will be continue till the 1. Finally, at the end of the program, I print all the occurrence of consonant, vowels, digits, and white space. Here, as shown in the output, there are 3 consonants which are T, D, and Y. 2 vowels which are A and O. 1 digit which is 1, and here there is no space in a today. So the white space is 0. So the next program is, so the next example is for how we can find length of the string without using inbuilt function. As we all know that Python is having a built-in function called length to find the length of string. But now the question is, how we can find the length of string if we are not having a length function. So for that, you have to understand this example. Here, str variable directly take a dynamic input of string from user. Then here, counter variable is taken, which is used to count the character from the string. For s in str, counter equal to counter plus 1 means with the occurrence of every new character from the string, counter variable is incremented by 1. So here, by first iteration, counter value count variable value will be become 1. Then by next iteration, it will become 2, and so on till the last occurrence of given string. So after running this program, enter a string, then I enter hello, then it will print the length of input string, which is 5. So that is all about strings in Python. Now you can implement many more programs like this in string by yourself. So now I am handovering this session to Neelam ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nidhi. It was a nice session. And as far as participants are concerned, I can tell you that string is one of the topic which needs hands-on, not from the presenter side, but it is needed from the programmer side. It signifies that given a statement, how to implement using string, that should be from your side because lot of functions, inbuilt functions are available. Which function is useful to you at what place? So that is something which is needed to be thought from programmer point of view. So if the session is going on for string, you will get bored because so many functions and so many functionalities are there as far as string is concerned. So what I'm expecting from you people is simply go through all the functions, take a say from our side what we thought about, that we will provide sample example for each and every topic. If is there, if else is there, elif is there, for is there, while is there, some specific problem which you won't be able to get on internet. Keep this thing in mind. So if you're getting the solutions on internet, what the problem is there, that directly you will copy and paste. But I want my participant to implement those programs from their side. And again, I'm telling you, it is not compulsory, it is optional. We will think about typical problems from all the topics point of view. Even from string point of view, we'll provide you 2 or 3 problem statements for each and every topic, which you can implement from your side. At any point, if you're facing problem, you can ask us within this 5 days or out of this 5 days, after this 5 days also, you can ask at any point. So now we are stopping the session at this point because I know that string, it is a huge, you can say, burden on you people, that what you covered, what you learned, until and unless you will do it yourself, you won't be able to have the thorough knowledge of that. Okay, now from my side, so this was the string, and tomorrow I'll take the session. I'll take over the session related to list. Now, there is a combo of list, tuple, set, dictionary. So these are the topics which we are going to learn tomorrow. And again, I'm telling you, these are very important topic because these topics are not available from C point of view. C dynamic array is not available. You have to do combination of array and pointers and these and that. But directly list is available, which is a dynamic array. Likewise, dictionary is not there in case of C. You are not having a name value pair. So this name value pair is available directly in Python. Are you getting? So something which is not available, I won't compare that this you can do in C. So this is the way through which you can do in Python, because these are extra topics which are not in C and what we are going to learn tomorrow. Getting this? So Best wishes to all of you to learn Python. The journey is still for 2 days, and I think that you people enjoyed the session. So thank you from my side, and hope all the participants who are present today will remain same tomorrow also. Okay, chalo, bye. Yes, ma'am. PPT will provide on fifth day. Surely, surely, PPTs would be provided. And meanwhile, you can see the you can say video links what we have provided to you. Any other queries? Queries are there. Queries are always welcome. Electrical department, whichever department is there. But the thing is this only that a zeal is there from your side to learn something. We are here to provide you that. We are here to provide you that. For that reason only we have started this session, so that there would be means on internet if you are finding no so a lot many resources available, but from where to start. And here again I'm telling you, Python is one of the course in final year 8th sem subject. In 8th sem, one of the subject is there in which 50% syllabus we are going to cover within this 5 days only. So just imagine that within 5 days we are doing our best to provide you fruitful thing as far as Python is concerned. It may possible that the frequency is somewhat fast, but at any point if you're finding any problem, you can interrupt us so that we can be on our space. Okay, thank you. All of you can leave now. Thank you. Stop कर